Here we go, Vision Realty Group, Austin, Texas. My name is Paulie Campanero, owner of the Vision Realty Group in Austin, Texas. And let's jump in. What's going on with Austin real estate market? Man, it's been going berserk the last year and a half. I mean, it was already a hot market. The last 18 months has been white hot. And so everybody's been asking what's going to happen. When's the market going to crash? When's the market going to go down? And we're going to address those questions right now. Okay, so the last year obviously has been just so crazy with prices, and one of the things as somebody who specializes in working with listings is figuring out what are the indicators that help us understand that the market is changing. So obviously one of the indicators is rising inventory, and we've seen inventory rise over 1,000 homes in the last 45 days, from 2,000 to 3,000 homes for sale. It's hovering around the 3,000 mark, and look, that might sound like a lot, but we sell 3,500 homes a month. In the busy season, maybe a little bit more. And so just the fact that it's increasing. Now look, it is April, so traditionally people in the springtime do come to market, and there's more there's more sellers coming to market. And there's some other things on the table that is giving us a little bit more concern outside of the inventory increasing. For instance, interest rates. Everybody's been talking about interest rates. And while everybody's been talking about how high 5% is, those of us who've been around long enough to know that 5% is still pretty low. And so while buyers are buying their way through 4% to 4.5% or 4.5% to 5%, the Feds have already indicated that there will be additional increases in the interest rates. So we can anticipate that in the next 90 days, it could go to 6% or 7%. And look, we don't know. And we know that the signs on the wall, based off of communication from the Feds, is that the interest rates are more likely to increase. Now, what's that doing? Obviously, that's causing some affordability issues with people who could only afford a $350,000 house and now can still afford a $350,000 house, but they're going to get less house. Okay, they're going to get a 1,500 square foot home instead of an 1,800 square foot home. They're going to get 3 bedrooms instead of 4 bedrooms because they're just getting less house based off of what they can afford. Now, in addition to the interest rates increasing, the Williamson and Travis counties have begun to release their tax assessments for new assessed values. And so what we've experienced all this appreciation, it's only a fact that the tax assessed values would have to catch up to reality. And so that's exactly what's happened. Properties assessed values have increased by 40, 50, 60, 70%. 100% in some scenarios. And so that means people are going to have to start paying more taxes. And if you're homesteaded and you own a property and it's your primary residence, you've filed a homestead. Homestead says in the state of Texas that your tax increases can only increase by 10%. Now look, 10% is still a lot, but it's better than experiencing a 50, 60, 70% increase in taxes, which investors are experiencing. So what's that mean? Well, there has been a lot of investor demand in Austin, Texas, and we've seen investor interest in regards to the number of offers we're receiving who are investors fall back dramatically. So look, demand's going down, inventory's going up, external factors like financial factors like interest rates are rising. Now look, we've just experienced these new circumstances in regards to demand falling and inventory rising just in the last couple of weeks. So it's we're about to head into May here. It's the end of April. And in just 14 days, we've felt this lessening of pressure in regards to demand because the market can change just like that. And so who are you talking to find out what's going on? Because if you're a buyer, you could get caught in the old mentality, old being 4 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, where I have to be super aggressive to make an offer. And the matter of the fact is, if I can just have a professional who can help me find out what's going on, having a conversation, creating a relationship with the listing agent to make sure that I'm not overpaying, to see what's happening with current pending and active properties for sale versus the more recent sales. And we are seeing numbers in regards to the final sale prices in the last 30 days versus properties that are pending being lesser and properties that are active even being lesser. So people are already starting to pick up on successful listing agents who specialize in working with home sellers that an adjustment needs to be made. So if you're a buyer, there's some important things for you to pay attention to make sure you can still get a great deal. And this lull, which I do think it is, over the next 6 months, because last year we peaked in June, and then July, August, and September we actually went down in value in Austin, Texas. I think in 30 to 60 days we're going to look back and see that the peak of the market in 2022 was actually March, and in April we start coming down a little bit or bouncing back based off of people making less, making offers that are less, and properties not selling for significantly over asking price, selling at or maybe even a little bit below asking price. Okay, now that's my theory, and we're going to see how that plays out in the next 60 to 90 days. But there are key factors happening with properties being on the market and not selling in 3 or 4 days, and not having 10 or 15 offers, taking 5 or 6 or 7 days. Oh, geez, that's so rough, selling in 6 or 7 days versus 3 or 4 days, and not getting 10 or 20 offers, 3 or 4 offers. So we're going back towards reality in regards to it being an intensely white hot market to a really hot market still, and making sure that as a buyer I know these things so I can be more strategic and I can be more intelligent about how I'm making offers and how I'm engaging. Okay, look, now if you're a seller, you need to pay attention to what it was 8 weeks ago is not what it is right now. So even if you underprice a property to get the frenzy effect, which we've done pretty successfully over the last year, you price more conservatively, you get a ton of demand, and then you see multiple offers and properties selling for $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 over asking price. Not the case now. Now look, the right property in the right neighborhood with all the bells and whistles and all the extra features and benefits can still sell for significantly over asking price. In the right school zone, that can still happen. But overall, as a whole, the market is not experiencing that. We're experiencing less showings, less offers, less aggressive offers. So if you're selling your property, you really got to understand what's happening in your little microclimate of a neighborhood, and understand clearly how your property compares to what's recently been on the market, and to take a good look at the recent pendings and available properties for sale to make sure you don't get caught chasing down the market, where you start too high because you want to give it a try, and now because the property doesn't sell in 3 or 4 days or 5 or 6 days, buyers start thinking, what's wrong here? Is there something wrong with the property? Is the seller not motivated? And when that happens, look, they're making lowball offers, and you start chasing down the market because people just aren't making offers because they think something's wrong. Now look, what an opportunity and blessing to still be able to buy a home, because I still think Austin and the greater Austin area is still a great opportunity to buy a home long term. There's just such a demand with the level of qualification our buyers have, coming from all corners of the earth, and so highly educated and so well financed, to be able to still buy a property in this market. And what is still an opportunity to sell your home for top dollar, as long as you have clarity around what's going on. And look, hey, reach out to the Vision Realty Group for anything in regards to comments or questions around buying, selling, or investing real estate in the greater Austin area, because with your vision, our mission will be to serve and to at least bring information at the onset. And we appreciate you. You have a great Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you soon.